Hello, welcome to day 50. We made it. And if you've been on this journey all the way along, congratulations. What I had just put in the comment box was that with 50 gatherings, if you're a once a week Tai Chier before going into isolation, you actually have done a whole year in less than 2 months. I'm hoping that your celebration of having done that means that Tai Chi is now a daily habit and that you know how you can transform the Tai Chi into everything that you do every day. Okay, so before we dive into some of the movements for today, I thought what we could do is, hey Jeanette, I thought what we could do is the full 108 moves. You can do it standing if you prefer. Hi, Kelly. And if you don't want to stand, if you want to do seated form, that's what I'm going to do. And that's just because in here, I just keep running into furniture. So I'm just going to do the seated version and you're welcome to do whichever. And I didn't even put the oregano on today. I was thinking so much about what we were going to do. So here we go. I'm just going to bring this down so hopefully you can see my feet and my head at the same time. All right, and let's get started. So find a nice comfortable way to sit. Take a nice deep breath in. Okay, bringing the hands together. And let's just get started. So as people are coming on, we're going to do 108. And our 108 can be seated or standing. I'm going to do seated. So it's up to you what you want to do. All right, so we've got commencement. Let that go. Opening the back, right hand will go out. Hold the ball. Left grasp for its tail. Hold the ball. Grasp for its tail. I'm going to go into the wrist. So we know that's an emotional release. Just to remind you. Opening the hands. 2 hands go out. This is going to come back around, whip to one side, and reach up. Step up to raise hands. Right hand is going to be at the top, sinking back, comes up. Just let that fall forward, expanding. Pushing into the feet. White stork spreads wings. Let that go. And then brush knee. Pushing with those feet. Again, it's just bringing awareness into the feet. So there's strong pepa. Here's our brush knee left. Pushing into the feet. Strong pepa. And then brush knee left. Twist step. Hold the flowers. In and out. And let that come forward. Wiping the sleeve. 2 hands. And let that come through. Sink. Open. This will be carry the tiger to the mountain. It's going to rotate back towards the brush knee right. Rolling out back. Palm to palm. Open the hands. 2 hands out. This is going to come through. Whip out diagonal. There's that T. Comes through. And reach up. Fist goes underneath the elbow. Open the hands. And let that come up. Sink. Open. Sink. Nice big breath. Open. This is going to come around. reach out. Push into those feet again. Step up to raise hands. Let that come down. White stork spreads wings. And rush knee. Pushing the needle to sea bottom. That's going to come back and reach out. Turn. Chop. White sleeve, hold the flowers. It's going to lift you up. And punch. This will be Grasping's tail. This time I'm going to put it into the palm. Just to remind you, that's where we can clear the mind. Calm down those monkey thoughts. Comes back around. Whip to one side. Now, this is going to go up and open. Coming across. Up. So here's number 5. Whip and out. This is going to come up, high pat on horse. Just that moment of balance. That's going to come through, cross and expand. And expand. That's going to turn. Heel kick. Hold the flowers. I believe that should have been a low punch. So we would have kicked and a brush knee. Open, brush knee. Apologize for that. Open. Wrong knee. Here it goes. Okay, it's going to come through and out. Turn. Comes around. Wipe. Hold the flowers. Through. And punch. Okay, so then turn and kick. So a nice big expansion. In. We'll go up to hold the flowers and then we're going to strike the tiger. Coming all the way around and in. Hold the flowers out. Strike the tiger. In. This would sink back. Expand. Cross the hands, rolling through. Strike the tiger. Let that go. Cross the hands. We're going to look left. Turning around. Kick right. Hold the flowers. In, out. Let that go. Comes through. Wipe. 2 hands. This is going to come up. Here to close the entrance. Carry the tiger to the mountain, and then brush and burn. So now we're into the second half, or part 3. Comes back around, whip to one side, and reach out. Parting horse's mane. So we worked on this yesterday. Nice, big, sweeping figure 8s. Just really noticing your back. How everything engages. I was just enjoying the movement so much. Left grassbird's tail. If I did 7, I apologize. Here we go. I'm going to put the fingers into the wrist. Palm to palm. Open the hands. 2 hands go out. So it's going to come back around, whip to one side. Let that go. Fair lady shuttle. It's going to cross. And this is going to reach out. Comes back to the hip. And reaches up. Crossing, goes to the left. Comes back through. Reach out right. Out. Left grasp its tail. Hold the ball. Grasp its tail. Palm to palm. 2 hands are going to go out. It's going to come back around, whip to one side. And move hands like clouds. Lifting up. This is going to come across. Here's number 4. It's going to come around, whip to one side, and reach out. Now this is a snake. We did this quite a while ago. Stand on the left and the right. Open. Forward up monkey. This will be flying in a slant, which is going to come around and reach out. Sinking back. Step up to raise hands, lift, and fall. White stork spreads wings. Let that come all the way around. Brush. Push needle to sea bottom. That's going to reach out. Fan penetrates back. Lift. Feel that separation. Wipe the sleeve. Hold the flowers. Reflect, carry, and punch. This one turn. Grasp its tail. So I'll just go into the fingers into the palm this time. Whip out to one side. Move hands like clouds. So it's going to be a lift and through. Spend a little bit of time on move hands like clouds yesterday. Whip to one side. This goes into high pat on horse. So it's going to come up. Sink back, reach out with your left. Turn. This will be a heel kick. Hold the flowers. And chop. It's going to turn and out. Palm to palm. 2 hands are going to go out. This is going to come back around. I don't know how I got there. I went to one side. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's correct. Slide down. This is going to come through the snake, comes up to reach the 7 stars. Sorry, I thought I missed the end. And this is the part I had thought about, so I thought I had already completed it. And out. It's our topic for today. That's why it was already in my mind. And deflect, parry, and punch. And come through. Sleeve, that's the job of the teacher, thinking too much. So I need my people around me, keeping me on track. Comes down. Crossing over. It's going to lift. And then just let that relax. Beautiful. Okay, so now you know what I'm thinking about for the topic for today. It's too funny. Okay, coming around, here we go. And let that go. So yesterday I was talking about how the saber set, I can now do the saber set where I feel like it's a seated set instead of the standing set translated into a seated form. And doing the full seated set, I don't do that a lot. I do bits and pieces, and very often I'll do the standing. So it still, for me, is very much a standing version, not quite yet the seated version. And for those of you that do all of the different forms, you'll understand what I'm saying. New people might not get it quite so much. But anyway, it definitely changes things a little bit. And things going on in the feet. There's just so much muscle memory that happens when you're doing this set. And it's just so interesting. And just that moment of thought into where I'm going to take the next conversation, and whoop, there goes the set for me. So it just shows you that if you do that, then, you know, it's just normal. I did burn my hand today on the stove, and I thought I have just used therapeutic touch just to really calm down and cool it. And then as we were doing the set, the energy started coming through the fingertips so much that it actually just blistered. So I just thought I would point that out, that when we're doing Tai Chi, that would be one way you could feel energy is flowing. So anyway, if you see me do this with my hand, it's just the heat is so much. I'm just trying to cool it back off. And I'm hoping what we choose to do today will help that as well. Okay, so Charlotte. Good, nice and relaxing. I'm glad. I'm very glad. Okay, so today, celebrating day 50, I wanted to do the beauty that transforms. So this is the very end of the Tai Chi set, and we have worked on many of the pieces over the weeks, but today we're just going to focus on it as a finishing sequence. We were working on it before as how to break it down into the pieces, but now let's see what the finishing sequence does. So I hauled out Gerda Getty's book again, The Golden Needle, and I went to see what does she have about the intention behind the movements. So I just wanted to read you this. When we come to the last sequence, there's a repetition of snake creeps down into the water. But this time when the snake emerges out of the water, it's been transformed into a movement called reaching for the 7 stars. These are the stars of the Big Dipper. The aim of the Taoist sage was to ride on the back of a crane up to the 7 stars when it was time for him to depart from this life. In the next movement, you prepare yourself to ride the tiger. When you ride the tiger, it means that you are in full control of your energy and your chi. It was thought that a sage could decide on the moment of his departure, and when he mastered the art of riding the tiger. And then next, you'll pick up the lotus flower with the leg. So we often refer to it as sweep the lotus, but it isn't sweeping the lotus. It's pick the lotus flower up with the leg. The lotus is the golden flower of Taoism, the crystallization of the experience of light. And the lotus represents everything that is beautiful. So before you depart from this world, you pick up the lotus as if to say, thank you for everything that was beautiful in this life. So when we get to the end of the Tai Chi set, and we come around and we sweep that hand, it's not sweep the lotus, it's picking up the lotus, and the knee comes up with you. So this is the movement of the soul's departure from the body, and after this movement, the Tai Chi Chuan continues, so that the tiger returns to the mountain for the last time. So that's closing the entrance. And the Tai Chi finishes in the same position as it started, where the feet are parallel with the arms down by the sides, returning to the starting point. Okay, so I just thought it would be nice to look at this, and I think it gives a new meaning to the way the movements work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the seated part first. I'll just run it through. So if there is anybody watching who's going to do the seated form, you'll already know what you're doing. And then I'm going to go to standing form after that. Okay, so we are coming from the snake creeps down into the water. And also this part here, the snake creeping down into the water, is a transformation pose. So again, if you've gone all the way through the set and you've really been focused on getting that energy flow, everything is transforming energetically, so there's this beautiful flow. Our innate healing potential is enacted. When you get to the last part, that's when you get to get rid of the crusty old skin and let it go. So you're coming through the water, and you come out of the water nice and clean and refreshed and all revived. And that's the meaning of that one. So we have snake creeps low. So this is going to sink back. It's going to come down. Remember we talked before about the hand comes up. That's the lotus flower. Turns into a fist, opening the back. This is going to spiral a little bit back to the right. And then it's going to push out into the feet. Push back towards the right hip. Come around to the left hip. Come all the way around. And strike the right leg. The hands cross, and then make a fist to come out. This is going to come up. In, out. Wipe. Follows through. Wipe the sleeve. Two hands. Up to the top. Sink. Up to the top. Open. And then sink. Okay. So seated form, you're going back and forth. And even though this comes all the way around, you're still up and down, back and forth with that little bit of twisting in it. A little bit of push that can go into each foot if you want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to take that away. So I can focus on the movement from the standing perspective. I'm just going to push this up a little bit so you can see my head and my feet hopefully at the same time. Okay, so we will come from a snake. So you're here. So this is going to sink back, and your right toe is going to open, your left heel is going to let go, and then it's a sink down on the right leg. Left toe opens, this comes through, and you're reaching to your side, left side. Open the back, steps back, sink down into that right leg, push out of the right leg into the back left corner, sink back into the right, turn the toe, sink over to that left, Hakwa, pigeon toe, pick up the lotus, and let everything shine. Comes back, in, out, sweep. You've got that toe at the back, it's giving that little bit of push, comes back, sink. Two hands to push out, comes back around, turn, and then sink. Crossing over, and then let that go, sink. Okay, so let's try it again. I'll do it from this side for those people that might need to see it a different way. If that's helpful at all. Okay. So I'm going to sink back into my right leg, right foot turns, left heel turns, sink, comes through. That lotus comes up, transforms up to that 7 stars. Draw the arrow to shoot the tiger. That's flow, turn, step, step, toe, reach, comes back, step through, in, out, wipe the sleeve, and step through, wipe the sleeve, 2 hands, and then bring that back. Turn, turn, sink, crossing over, and let it go. Okay, so let's break down some of the ideas of the moves. So I'll just bring this back again. Okay, so the snake is going to creep down into the water, emerges out of the water transformed, reaches for the 7 stars, which is the Great Dipper. And so that is really about finding your star and knowing where your goal is, and then being able to achieve your goal. And then the Taoist sage would ride on the back of the crane up to the 7 stars for departure from this life. So that is, after you finish the Tai Chi set, departure from Tai Chi, and be able to take that energy and cultivated shift of energy out into your everyday. And then we're going to prepare ourselves to ride the tiger. Okay, so let's just do that first little bit. So you've got your whip to one side is here, and you have your right foot 45 at the back, and the movement, there's many ways we can think about this. I'm going to go from the belly, because that's where the movement should be started from. So your belly starts to transition back, which would be a contraction. The hips release their tension, and then that allows the right foot to flip open to the front, and then the left heel to slide because you're already going down into the right leg, into the snake, sweeping down, coming up, and then open. Drop that tailbone and let the whole back go. Now, if we talk about the emotions that go down the back of the spine, that's your last turn to really get a good lengthening in there of release. Okay, so let's try that again. I think you could see my feet okay. So we've got whip to one side. Sink back towards the right, and as you're doing that, the hips release. So there's an openness. Now this is a drop on the right, goes down and through, push out of that. This is going to come up, so your toe comes forward. You go up, and the tailbone goes back. Okay, so the front toe gives a little bit of push just to give you that extra little traction to be able to let go. Okay, now I went quite low on that snake, which is quite interesting because both knees when I started Tai Chi was like, I'm not going to go very low. And then as soon as I start to focus on open the hip, oh, pain disappears. So I don't know if that's the same for you, but be aware of where transitions start to happen for you. So if we come back to here and that sink, so that belly starts to move, so it'll be a contraction. So when we're talking about the power moves, that contraction is happening in the belly. And as soon as it happens, the 2 hips go, oh, and they let go. And after they've let go, and you start to do that little bit of turn, the right foot can just pop open. No effort at all. And as soon as you're standing on that leg, the heel can slide on the other side. So all that is without effort. It's not flip, flip. It's just transform, transform. And then once you get to that right leg, I'm not saying go to the floor, because if you can't, that's totally fine. But what I am saying is, when you get there, see if you can release everything. That lower dantian is going to contract again, and then your spine can open. So if the hip releases, contraction is coming through the belly, all of a sudden, you have this flow that can come through. So when you come through that middle, it's going to open, and then the back leg is going to push out for you to put all your weight into the left and to be really solid in your left. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. Let's try it again. This is where I'd love to see where you're at, because I hope you're doing everything safe. So sink back, let the hips release, open the toes, let the heel go, sink. Let that transform you up, drop the tailbone open. Okay, even to come back to drop all of the vertebrae, especially started to let go. So the lower back was kind of going, just dropping out of it, which is really good. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time, but then I'm going to go into the next move, which is riding the tiger. And riding the tiger means you're in full control of the energy and your chi. So you've spent the whole time cultivating energy, expanding, contracting, and now you have it, and you are ready to hold on to it. So you've mastered the art of riding the tiger. So you know how to build your own energy, you know how to store it, and you know how to share it if you decide to share it. Okay, so we have, let's back up so you can see my feet. So sink, open everything up, toe heel, sink, comes through, push up to 7 stars, sink that tailbone, and this is going to step back into the right foot, place the left foot into the corner, and out. Now, you go down into the right, and if the hip is open, there shouldn't be any pain in your knee. I say that because as soon as it tightens, I can feel it. Okay, so I've got into that, and then when I go to turn and push this through, we talked about how the psoas muscle attaches to the middle of the back, and it's going to be pulling in directions. And this is the most beautiful move to calm everything down. So if you're thinking about riding that tiger, the tiger's before you, and you're like, yep, I got this. I got this. No matter what I need to do, I got it. Okay, so let's take that. Think how many snakes we'll have done today. So you're going to open up the hips, open, sink, comes through, push. Tailbone drops back, step back with the right, to the corner with the left, and everything spirals and comes around. Okay, so now we have pick up the lotus. This is the beam of white light. So white light being pure energy, healing light. So here we are, we sink back, and the hips open, the whole body, the whole center core is relaxed, and you're in your right foot. So turn the left side, and as you do that, the body sways back to the left, and then the toe turns open to start that, to come around. I left it on the floor, we would pick it up. But that is, it's just like a nice little rocking motion that goes back and forth. And I think when we first learn it, it's very, very structural in that you come pick up, pick up, pick up. But it isn't really, it's a period of changes in the shoulder and hip, expansion, contraction, expansion. And it's working through all the different dimensions, which is what makes it such a beautiful move. So as you reach out, this is going to sink back into the right, left side turns, shift your weight to that left foot so it frees up your right, turn, turn, out. Okay, so I exaggerate my hands so you can see what I'm up to, and I'll just do that again. So I have into my right, into my left. So really I'm not moving my arms, it's my body. And this is my body bringing it around. You notice it all came around, but I didn't go here, here, turn, turn, turn. Sweep. Okay, that would be structural, but we're not doing that. We're on the inside. We're on the inside. And we're massaging back and forth from the back of the body to the front, from the front to the back, can just feel that whole wave. So if we reach out, left hand high, sink, open the hips. You're on your right side, turn. On your left side, back is open, hip is open, turn, turn, sweep. Okay, now we spent a lot of time on trying to hit that foot. So if you think about your hand coming through, your left hand is there too, but your right hand finishes, and you know about the positions of the hands, how they change the hips and the shoulders. There's your light, right there. So you come through, you hit the foot, that's what you're aiming for. Some of you might hit your ankle, shin, knee, leg. At the front, that would be, you didn't sink. So you're going to try to sink as much as you can. But you come through, and that's finish, is that lotus is right there for like a split second, then the hands cross, and then they transition out. Okay? So you've come through. This is going to come through, cross, and then transform out. Okay? So, I don't know if you got that or not. My right hand comes through, it hits the foot, there's the beam of light, cross, and out. Okay? So, stepping onto your right foot, left foot comes into the corner, and you're going to sink back. So you're going to open up the hip, let that come around, turn in the spiral, sink, pack off, pigeon toe, strike, comes through. Okay, now there's the light, you cross the hands, and there's that moment. It's just like it just holds for just that moment. If you think about that, your palms are facing towards you. So this comes up, palm comes towards you. And you have that change of energy. It's in your field. We've talked about that. The palms are changing what's going on in the field around you. Just that moment where it stops and pauses. And then it's going to transform and move. And that's when your back opens again. Okay, just feel that little pull. Okay, so we go into the corner with the left, push out, sink back into the right, turn. So we go step, step. There's that pause and that moment. Then you have that transformation where we come back into the movements to step through and carry on, right? Okay, so let's do the last little bit here. So after you pick up the lotus flower with the leg and have the experience of light, you say thank you for everything that's beautiful in this world. So that is our gratitude piece right there. Then you bend the bow and shoot out the arrow. And this is the moment of the soul's departure from the body. And after this movement, the tiger returns to the mountain for its last time. That would be closing the entrance. Okay, so we came all the way around. We were here. Okay, so this is going to go up, in, out, step through, and then that tiger is going to close that entrance. So the last time, working on all those emotions, letting everything go, and let the extension happen. Okay? All right, so let's go from the snake. Okay? We didn't do enough snakes yet today. Okay, so here we go. Sink. Open the hips. Let everything relax. Open, open. Drop. Comes through. Reach up. Sink back with the tailbone. And that steps back. You've got into the left with the spiral. And now everything is going to let go and just be nice and relaxed. Into the right. Into the left. Right. Left. There's that pause. Sinks back. Comes up. In and out. So the tiger is riding that wave in. satisfied. You've cultivated the energy you needed. That's the left side of the body, then the right side of the body, and then sink. Crosses over, and then you can let that go. And sink. Okay. All right. So that takes us through the last sequence of Tai Chi, and we have broken it down before in several parts. It's one of those parts where we actually don't usually spend a lot of time. There's all kinds of other movements that happen, and this one does not get as much time, so I'm hoping it feels a little bit smoother. Mostly I'm hoping you figure out how to let your hips relax and just let everything open. And if there are pains, hopefully they disappear and they're replaced with strength, and a strength of flexibility as well. Okay, so we have the snake. Here we go. Sinks back, open, drop, up, into the corner, sinks back, push, 1, 2, comes out, all the way around, hold the flowers, in, out, wipe the sleeve, up here to close the entrance, and that's going to come through, left toe, right heel, sink, crosses over, open, and let that go. Okay. So you can't see. I turned around, picked up the lotus flower. I look out the window, and Hunter is sitting out on the deck in the wind, in the cold, and the hair on him is flying around. And as I come around, his eyes were doing this, trying to keep track of my movement, and then the big meow on the end of it. Anyway, I couldn't stop laughing. It's just so cute. Okay. Anyway, all right, so let's leave that move. Let's see where we are time-wise. My gosh. Okay, let's go to the end of low cup. We don't have quite time to really run through all of the low cup, but I will take more time next week. Or I guess it's this week, since it's Monday. But let's do that morning dove, floats across the treetop. And morning dove, symbol of peace and calm. And I see, yeah, I see you, Hunter. I see you. Are you going to come in? Yeah. Okay. You'll have to wait a minute. Okay, so we're going to go across. Goes float. Peace and calm. Think about that morning when the sun comes up and there's that beautiful sunrise. Just what that feels like. See that nice freshness for the day. This is the belly. And the belly, you've got Paco with the left, toe heel with the right. Belly's moving, Paco with the left, toe heel with the right. Paco with the left. And then your right heel comes around, so you can go back the other way. And then step with your left foot, reach up. Step with your right foot, reach up. Step with the left foot, reach up. So now this is going to step what would be to your back, cross the hands, roll them, and your left foot is going to slide out into the snake. So it's a right-sided snake this time. Turn, rise up on the toes, sink down into that right. This is a palm that comes across this time. And then palm. And then to finish, it's step, step. Open, and then let that go. Okay, so it's very similar to what's happening in the Tai Chi set with the end part. The different arm positions are the different ways the energy is coming through the body. So the first one is to open lower dantian, next one's to open middle dantian, the last one's to open upper dantian. And it says, when you come around and you rise up on the toes, that is the chi rises to Mount Kunlun. So what that means is the chi has come all the way through and is now flowing. and you have balanced all of the systems. That's what that means. And then you finish and you close the entrance. You're complete. Okay, so let's just do that little sequence again. Now you can think about how those 3 gates, you're making sure those gates are open. And we learned about opening the hip, so just let everything in the tissues really relax coming through the hip joint. And that's going to come across. Now it's the belly, and it's not a big movement, it's just a little one. Pakwa, toe heel. Pakwa, toe heel. Pakwa, step out to the corner with your right foot. And now that same relaxation is going to come through. And then step, let that come through. Step, let that come through. So now here, you're going to turn, line everything up, and the snake, it's on the right leg this time, so you're going down on the right, out, open, rise up on the toes, sink. That's going to come across, and then come across. That's that last bit of movement. Turn, turn. Back's going to open, let everything go, and then sink. Drop the spine, let the tailbone go. Yeah. Okay, I think that gives you a nice compilation for how things finish. And the success of that flow is going to bring this back and do cooks hookups to finish. It's just a really nice way to be able to end. So I hope that you're going to celebrate the new patterns that you've created by being involved in Tai Chi for 50 solid days. And also for those people that have been going back and watching the videos and working on parts. You should really congratulate yourself on the endeavors you've put in. And it's been a lot of extra, but in the end, I think you're just going to come out with so much more. And when we finally get back into our Tai Chi classes, what you know about your movement is going to be that much stronger. Okay, Hunter's just squawking from the back door, desperate to get in. There's your fingertips. I don't know that you can hear him meowing. I can feel the energy coming through those fingertips, right down into the feet. Feels fantastic up through the top of the head. All right, so I'm just going to let that go. All right, so there's day 50 for you. Happy celebrating. Please pat yourself on the back. You've done an awesome job. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all your feedback that you've sent. And thank you for being on this journey. And tomorrow, day 51.